Well, hello and welcome to our very first episode of Prospera Pulse, the heartbeat of the network. I am excited that you are here. My name is Elena Rodriguez, and I am the founder and president of Prospera TV Network, which we are streaming on Roku. We are in 17 countries, and we also have a YouTube channel, and we're on stream and embedded on websites all around. So thank you for being here tonight. What we are doing with the Prospera Pulse is we wouldn't be here without the show hosts. And often when you are servant leaders and you have a message that you want to share and pour out into the world, you are focused on the message coming through other people. But rarely do you kind of like toot your own horn, right? And so what I'm doing with Prospera Pulse is giving you the inside look at who is actually doing the work to spread their message across the globe. Who are the show hosts? What is their purpose? Why are they here? What are they passionate about? And also to allow you to get to know them just a little bit better. And so you will find us here every month. We're gonna be joining you every month, and every month you're gonna meet different show hosts, and you'll be able to welcome new show hosts as they join our network. But it is really just about celebrating them, the ones that said yes. So we are going to bring everyone up one by one. They're going to let you know who they are, where they're tuning in from, what the name of their show is, and then we'll start diving into some interesting topics tonight. So we will start here.
Hi, my name is Raquel. I'm a GPS for Success out of Chicago, and my show is called One Breakthrough Now.
I'm Tish Ross. I'm in Texas, and my podcast is No Judgment Here with Tish Ross, the podcast.
Hello, go by Coach Trill, and my show will be Silent No More, offering the opportunity for a safe space for men to have the silent conversation.
Hello, my name is Teresa Gilleret, and I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and my show is called Turn to the Sun, and it is about my son. I lost my son, and so I'm hoping to bring awareness.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jara Ortiz, and I am in the Carolinas, and my show is Badass Mama Moves.
Hi there, this is Roxy B. Rocker. I am in Massachusetts in a little small town called Boxborough. I have a wonderful show called Embracing What's Possible with Roxy, and I do disability education.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Montalvo. I am in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I have not started my show yet, but I do have a title. It's called Grace Anyway. I can't wait to start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Allegra Havana, all the way from New Mexico, and my show is called Unmuted.
And look at that, everyone. We are coming to you from around the country, and it is just amazing to have everyone here. So we're going to dive into some questions. And also, if you are tuning in, I encourage you to ask any questions that you want of the show host. This is all about them. So the first thing I want to say is congratulations to each of them for saying yes to something that was probably brand new at the time. And now it's like they're actually doing it. They are showing up on TV screens in homes across the country. So the first question that we're going to go with, and I'm going to go with Jamal on this one because he is one of the first ones that joined our 90-day launch experience. Jamal, what made you say yes to Prospera TV Network?
I was searching, trying to find my passion, trying to find an outlet. I had quite a few opportunities, but nothing kind of resonated with me. And then once you and I finally connected after so long of playing phone tag, it just felt genuine. It felt like it was a calling. It felt like I was where I needed to be and where I needed to share my voice. So just kind of trusted my instincts and then just follow my gut.
I love that. Trusting your instincts. And we are really all about alignment. If every single one here is about divine connection, and we really lift each other up. So I'm going to jump to Jessica and ask you the same question because you are also in the 90-day launch experience. And so you're just getting started too. What made you say yes to Prospera?
Yeah, so I've known my passion for a really long time. I started out when I was a little girl. Just kind of obsessed with old Hollywood classic movies. And throughout the progression of my life, that piece has always been an aspect of my identity. So of course we go through the journey, and there have been some, hard knocks, and I felt like it was time to start telling my story, and then of course incorporate old Hollywood with it as well.
I love that. And I'm excited with everything that's coming together for your show. I'm excited for everybody to be introduced to it. Now, Roxy, for you with Embracing Disability with Roxy, what was your biggest fear before actually going live? Because you just jumped right in and went, but what was your biggest fear?
So the name of the show is Embracing What's Possible with Roxy. The name of the company is Embracing Disability. My biggest fear was not being accepted or wanted for doing disability work, because sometimes disability just gets rejected and misunderstood. So my biggest fear was that it wasn't going to be acceptable and people, but it's been well received, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely been
Yeah,
well received.
really well received.
Yeah, it really has. And like we're just jumping around, and if anytime anybody wants to comment in, but Yada, you are up next. I have a question for you. What through this process has surprised you the most about being a show host?
Honestly, how much I've grown since I first started. I came as real scared because when you first launch and asked me, like when you first launch, I knew in my heart I was going to be a host and have my own show. I just didn't know it was going to be this soon. So I was a little scared, but I did it anyway. It was just, how can I say, it looked, I don't know, I just got a little scared when you first asked me, and just how much I've grown. And now I'm actually having fun doing it.
Yeah,
Every time I
yeah.
speak, I just have fun doing it.
That's awesome that you bring that part up, that now you're actually just having fun, because that's really let's be honest with all of us, the work we do is heavy. The purpose behind why we're here is heavy information. It's emotional, because we are here for impact. And some of us are here because God just said, you're going to do this. And that can be heavy, it can be emotional. So the key is to have fun with it, to have fun with it and just let it roll. So I want to jump to Raquel on that part. Raquel, like you have put a structure behind your show that is somewhat unique. So for you, what has surprised you the most about joining Prospera and being a show host?
It's really unlocking things that were never on my bingo card. We've been, Prospera is not even a year old, and I came in the beginning, and so many things were unlocked that when God said, "Yeah, do this," and I was like, "Okay, right." It's like you said, God asked you to do it, and you're like, "All right, we'll just all learn together, and we'll support each other, and we'll see what God is going to do." And so it was really that part. So many things in my own life have unlocked all these gifts that I've been holding, over time, and a lot of them got translated into different aspects that had I not said yes to Prospera and be like, okay, this is what God's calling me to do. It's fine. I've already learned. You can learn on the road and it'll just get better and better. But it was all these things that happened because I was obedient to the yes. And had I not been obedient to the yes, I would not be able to. I've served like over, 100 people because I said yes, and all the open doors that it afforded me because I'm doing this, and I continue to do it and change things from season to season. So I'm just really grateful. And then, like, right, the room rewires you. So you're so hyper creative and heart centered and thinking of all these cool things. And then it like, sticks. It's like, oh, now I'm getting some of that overflow. Now I'm going to go play with my creativity and things like that. So it's a really beautiful experience for me. And so I'm like, come on in. What are you waiting for? Say yes.
Say yes. Say yes. Say yes to the whisper. I love that. So Tish, for you, who is your show like really for? Because you are one that has taken a podcast that was already a successful podcast. Your followers, your subscribers, you've established yourself, and you wanted to up level it. And so you use Prospera to be able to do that. But when you look at some of the deep topics that you do cover with your No Judgment Here with Tish Ross, who would you say that your show is really for?
Oh my goodness. I believe that my show is really for those people that feel like they are all alone, the people that feel like they are the only ones going through what they're going through. And my hope and my prayer, and I think my yes to what the Lord has called me to do, is to prayerfully, hopefully reach that person that feels like, man, can't tell anybody this, or nobody knows what this feels like. And I have had guests from so many different backgrounds and walks of life that I do know that there are people that have been touched by people who have said yes to come on and share. Because while I have a testimony, and we all have stories and testimonies, journeys, I can't impact the people that God wants you to impact by me telling your story. Only you can tell your story and impact those that He's called you to. So it is just an honor to say yes to God. It's scary, yes. And there are times when, you wonder, where next, God? Where else are you taking me? And here we are, Prospera TV Network. And so I have to echo what Raquel is saying, is if you feel a nudge that you think you want to be a part of this incredible vision, to say yes, get in touch with Alana. It is definitely something that we have grown together on individually and as a group. And so, yeah, I would say my podcast is for everyone.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And yeah, we'll dive into that a little bit more. But Allegra, I want to jump to you because your show is called Unmuted. Got to get it off my chest. And those that know you, that resonates with you perfectly. What would you feel what conversation are you here to normalize that most people would be afraid to kind of bring up in everyday conversation?
So I'm here to bring up the conversations that people normally avoid. I'm the one that whenever I speak, the record skips because it's like, did she really just say that? So my show is going to talk about controversial topics that are hard to discuss, topics like grief, narcissistic abuse. Also, for the person that has felt misunderstood, different, never fit in, unheard, left out. So we're going to talk about a lot of things that we don't talk about in day-to-day life, things that are not easy to talk about, topics that are sometimes labeled as controversial. For me, it's just time that we get those things off of our chest as a society.
I love that. I love that. And this is just a prime example. I mean, you can see in just this very short amount of time the variety that we have, but the passion that is driving this purpose to get these messages out. And that's one of the things that I want to drive home, is that for each of you, this is a unique journey that you're on. And I am honored that we are able to come here together and do this work. It's a special gift. What we're going to do is I want to ask this question of each of you. So take a couple minutes to answer the question, but this is coming from the perspective of your show and your viewers and what you want them to experience. So this gives you an opportunity to talk a little bit deeper about what your show is and why you're passionate about it and why people should tune in, to your show. So it's, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience? And Teresa, I'm going to start with you.
The transformation that I want viewers to experience, now I haven't started my show yet, but what I hope to get out there is awareness. I lost my son to fentanyl, and it's really important to me. There's a lot of stigma around addiction and drug use and substance use disorders. and grief, how a parent should grieve their child appropriately. And so there's just a lot of awareness, and I plan to bring on other families to talk through their journey. How it's not a cookie cutter process to grieve a child. So I think it's really important to get just family experiences, and in their own words, kind of like what Tish said, families share there's no better person to share a story than themselves. Mm-hmm. So awareness and just normalizing it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to admit that. And it's very important to find a solid support system.
I love that. I have very, very high hopes for your show. I know that you've gone through a couple other life impacting setbacks. So this is the year that it's going to surface. And I'm really excited for the families and the conversation that is going to happen through your show. I really, really am. So Jamal, let's move over to you. What transformation do you want your viewers to experience? And I know that your show is in concept form and it will be launching here soon, but give everyone a little bit of an insight of what you want your show to do.
Well, first of all, I'm currently in San Antonio, Texas. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I would like for my show to kind of transform and take a journey for men from the known to the unknown, and the known meaning to being able to identify with issues, pain, pressure points, and things that we all go through. But as men, taking that journey to the unknown as a valley of healing and such. What it looks like to take that journey upon healing. If nothing else, at least just to have that conversation. Because for so many, men out there, the expectation is to be a solid rock, to be there for everybody. And we always want somebody to look out for that strong friend, but we never get that SOS or that call. And we always kind of sitting around waiting. And then, too much ego, we won't extend that olive branch to say that, hey, we need help. But we secretly want to be asked. And that's what I want to get us to transition from, that known to the unknown being the uncomfortable position of being able to ask for help if nobody's offering it.
I love that. And I know one of the big things that, connected, I could see your passion. I could feel your heart behind it. And when I started doing some research, this has just popped up in my head when I heard you answer just now. But when I started researching some of the men the kings, I call them, that were going to be part of the Surrender to Rise book series, they gave two reasons that it was almost like as I talked to more men, there were two reasons that kept surfacing as to what would hold a man back from sharing. And one was ego, and one was the fear of vulnerability. And so I feel that the work that you are stepping forward to do is so important and deserves to be honored. Like, I am proud of the fact that you're opening up this conversation for men to have that platform. I'm really excited for what you're doing.
I appreciate it. I don't know what it's going to look like. And I welcome all and any assistance and feedback in the process. So I'm completely open to any and everything.
Yeah. Well, you're in a good place for that, because the ideas go off like popcorn in my head. So you're in a good place, and we'll have you up and rolling in no time. But just really, that's a proof right there that all you need is the desire and to listen to God. If He's calling you forward to open up a conversation that is you're not seeing a whole lot out there, it's because He wants work done around it, and you're in an environment that we just say yes, and then we figure it out. So just kudos to you. I'm excited for what you're going to bring. And and again, guys, as you're watching and tuning in, whether it be live tonight or on a replay later, you can contact any of the show hosts. The easiest way is to just visit prosperatvnetwork.com, and we can get you to every show host. Maybe talk about it. Maybe if there's men out there that are like, hey, Jamal, I love what you're doing. How can I be a guest? Or, what can we do? Like, it's never too early to start having those conversations. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So Tish, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience?
Healing. I want people to feel like it kind of encompasses what the majority of these this panel, that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help, men and women, and that if you feel like you're alone, gosh, just come and watch Prospera TV Network, because I can guarantee you that there is somebody that has or is going through something similar to what you're going through. But my hope is to reach people who feel like they are at a loss, and to help them to feel hope, help them to feel heard and seen, that they are not alone. And kind of like Allegra, I have just a multitude of topics and subjects right now. I'm working with the Innocence Project, where I am telling you, these people are screaming for help. They just want their story to be heard, and they want to be heard. And so that's another opportunity, and that's an opportunity for healing, for people to come on and share their story as well.
Yes. And I can't wait to see what you do with that, because that's it's just beautiful, like all the things that are happening in the space individually, but what that does for us as a collective, it's really cool. So thank you for that. Raquel, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience when they tune into One Breakthrough Now?
The main message always is that there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing has gone wrong. It is just some belief systems that you have. And so my show centers around neuroscience, biblical principles, emotional regulation, epigenetics, things like that, and how they actually all work together. Because so many times we're like, oh, I feel like an imposter, or I'm a procrastinator, or all these things, all these internal stories that we tell ourselves and then become our reality. And so every season, though the topic is slightly different for focus, I do a 12-week arc. It's always the same umbrella: neuroscience, biblical principles, emotional regulation, epigenetics. Because the first realm of manifestation, where we don't get what God really wants for us, is the lack of understanding. The good book says that, wisdom is the principal thing, but with all you're getting, get understanding. And so that's my show, is always bringing in the understanding part. And then the second part of manifestation is like, we get really excited, right? The worst thing about success is a little bit. And then when the fire comes, you're like, wait, maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I need to go back to work. Maybe I didn't hear from God, even though you had those successes. And so really helping people always manifest through the 4 different stages. So like the first one was about rewiring reality, and then we talked to then we had this now we came with the second season was about, but then the third season we're doing goals, divine acceleration. And so it's all the same principles, but it's always the same message: there's nothing wrong with you, nothing has gone wrong, you're beautifully and wonderfully made. And so that is the same thing over and over again, through those lenses and through the topics of the season.
Just real quick, share kind of the uniqueness with you, especially using your first season, because if sometimes people are like, I don't even know what I would do with the show, or I don't even know, like, what would happen with the show. But you actually have taken yours and divided it into seasons. But that first season, you were able to repurpose and create some sort of like a course, correct, with the actual recordings of the show?
Yes, for the first and second and now the third season as well. I used to do a lot of coaching. And so that was my mind. When we're coaching people, we always think, what else do they need? What else do we need? Because we love our people so much. And we're like, how else do we help them? And so the first season was around rewire reality. And I was like, okay, that's great, because the show is showing them. So it's basically every season, every episode is a mini masterclass. It's a free masterclass that you get to watch over and over again. So I was like, if you don't know how to do something, YouTube University, right? I'm showing you how to do it. But then it came like, oh, what else do they need? Oh, they need a workbook. So I created a workbook that ties into every episode, talking about the frameworks that I was doing, so people can just slow down enough to do them. And now what I have with it. It's what I call an identity operating system, right? An OS. So now the new iteration of that is really merging all those things together. And I created like a custom private GPT that when you get the workbook, it ties it back to the first season, to all the episodes. And now you get, and then now you have this thing where you have coaching 24/7, because that's what's like, that's one of the things, right? You're in this hyper environment where you're leading with visions. Like, what else do they need? They need this, they need this other thing. And so you have these other opportunities for people to plug into, or other things that they can do when they're coming on, like this 90-day, this new thing that you have with the 90-day container, was because you're like, oh, this is what people really need, is this. And that's really what helped me create these other things that are tied into the show. So second season was around task management. So it's right, like, how do you become a task animal? That's what we're doing right now. Actually, season 3, that's what we're doing right now. Task animal. And so those things are all I'm like, oh, what else do they need? Sometimes people just need more. Like, I can't be your coach at 2 a.m. Don't send me a text. I'm not gonna answer.
Right.
So I created something for you to answer the question the way I would answer the question to help you. So from a coaching perspective, sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to give all these things away. We're never, we can never outgive God. And it's just like, okay, how can we serve the masses and more people in a way that's affordable? Well, being on your network is a way to serve people in an affordable way, because it's free for them. It's not free for us. We still have to, do all the things, but we are choosing to sow into other people's lives in creative ways, in whatever way that we're being called to. And for a coach, right? And I'm also, a multimedia person. So like, what else do they need to have a full sensory experience so that they can have that transformation? And they, not only have the transformation, but keep it. It's like money. Sometimes people know how to make money, but they don't know how to keep it. That's a different skill. It's a different identity. It's a different mindset.
We'll let Yada pull in on that one when we get to her at the end, because she's a money person. But that is like so awesome to be able to share that example of, that's the kind of thinking that we are doing here as a platform. Is it's not just hit record and like get your name in lights, and hit record and get your name in lights. It's actually like, what is the transformation that's going to take place, not only in your viewers' lives, but in actual, like in yours, in your business and things like that. So thank you for sharing that part of it. Allegra, as we move down to you, you've had one episode that has aired, and then I know we're getting geared up for 2026. For Unmuted, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience when they tune into your show?
So I want the transformation to be one from pain, misunderstanding, unheard, left out, to one of healing, self discovery, self exploration, self confidence, and really the ability to know that my viewers are worthy of being heard and their voice matters. And if they are in a dark place, I get it. As a childhood trauma survivor, I get it. And so sharing that path, hopefully bringing someone out of the darkness that they may be in into the light, and letting them know that healing is possible, and self-love is definitely priceless.
To just know you the past several years, to have witnessed your own self-love journey, you are proof that it can transform you. And so I'm really excited for you to be able to take that and share it with the people that tune into your show on a regular basis.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Jessica, like we said, you're getting started. We've just, even from when we were talking in concept phase, like where the growth that you've already had pushing through to that clarity. That's a big thing as well, is people understanding that when we put you through this 90-day experience and we start asking questions and we're diving in another layer deeper, it actually helps you get clearer on what is the message, what is the transformation. For some in business, what is the offer? The hardest thing for people in this service based industry is that tangible. What do I do? What do I really do? I love diving into that. But so for you, as you have developed the concept of your show and it's coming together, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience when they do tune in?
Well, for me, I would love for everyone, especially women, to feel comfortable in their own skin and to really tap into becoming acquainted or reacquainted with that inner child. So, what I want to do is explore, just I want to have fun.
Mhm.
That's my thing. Like, I want to have fun and show the different ways, even throughout the progression of the journey and the really difficult experiences, abuse, trauma, just a lot of different things, narcissistic abuse, physical abuse, a lot of things that, people don't normally talk about. I want to talk about it, but in a way where, yeah, I'll have deep conversations, but also I want to incorporate fun in learning how to take care of yourself. Self-care is really important. And then, of course, incorporate my own passion for old Hollywood glamour. So I want to take all kinds of different aspects of how I've been able to make it through, not just survive, but make it through and understand that, God has been with me every step of the way, even when I questioned whether or not he was with me.
Mhm.
So that is a really big part of what I want to bring to my show. And just, understanding that self-expression looks so different to so many people, and it's unique to every individual. So I'm really excited to continue developing, and I want each episode to kind of be kind of like an homage to every single aspect of the journey, incorporating, fun old Hollywood glam.
And I love and that makes it fun for us too, because it's like, ooh, you're bringing in this like vibe that's all creative and fun. So we'll be looking for hers to be launching here soon. We'll have a promo video out there to be able to just announce and say coming soon while we're building the details behind the scene. But it's exciting, and I'm really honored to have you join our little Prospera superstars. So thank you. Roxy, with your show, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience when they tune into Embracing What's Possible with Roxy?
Hi there. What an exciting gift this has been, Elena. Thank you again. So I think my show is evolving, and there is so much of a treasure to talk to people that may not always have a disability or maybe have hidden disabilities. And they're we're having deeper conversations. We're having journeys. We're laughing. Sometimes we're even crying. And but there is so much going on in the episode and the world, but I want light-hearted conversations, but sometimes they're deep. So I want people to really learn about disability and also be tuning in to empower themselves as people with disabilities to just be on this incredible opportunity and experience. So all my months have themes since January. January was kind of like exploring things and leadership, and then the other piece was, this month has all been about self-love. This coming Saturday, you're gonna love this, the new gentleman here. There's a male panel on self-love and worth, and it was incredible talking to four men from our mastermind all about the journey on self-love and worth from their perspective. This Thursday, I'm doing the women, and
Nice.
so it's going to be this whole dialogue around who are we as people? Not just people who have a disability, but who are we?
Mhm. And one of the things that I have to say is to have witnessed the growth and the breakthroughs that you have had since just saying yes and joining Prospera. You brought up a kind of like a statement or a comment or something that I think many people need to hear, and I think it's huge. And it's that coming from the place of disability, you said you want people to ask questions, and we talked
Yes.
about how sometimes people might feel like awkward, or they don't want to offend, or they don't, it's almost like they have to bypass it, and you're like, no, I want to talk about this so that you can
Yes.
understand more. And I think that's a message that needs to continue to get drilled home, like time and time and time again, is that from where you're coming from, and that you talk about disabilities hidden and seen, that you want people to ask questions. That's big.
It is big.
Yeah.
I'm very excited because I have almost till August planned out, and there's going to be some panels coming on education and families, and I think that education is just going to be so deep, and I hope people will turn in, and I hope people will ask the moms and ask the educators and ask the advocates, because people need to know, and people need to learn and understand and get that insight and information.
Yeah. Well, I am honored to have you,
It's an honor to be here.
on our network, and to be the example and to set the stage. So thank you so much. We have a comment here. Gina says that's so important because some people have disabilities that aren't visible, and so they aren't understood or taken seriously. And that is the truth. And I'm just going to drop this down. Coming from a place of my sons, I have two older sons. They both have the mental disability, and because it's not seen from the outside, it's amazing at how it can make you spiral down into depression. So even Jamal, it's like, I can't wait to have you meet one of my sons, and maybe he'll be a guest on one of your shows. But let's move on into Yada. Yada, what transformation do you want your viewers to experience when they tune into Badass Mama Moves?
Yeah, so I want my viewers, and my goal is for them to go from overwhelmed to aware, and from surviving to being strategic and really living the lives that they deserve. That yes, you can be a good mama while still trying to figure things out, and that just makes us the human beings that we are. And there's so much pressure on women to act like we always have things. We always have to be wise and be strong and have everything figured out, and put it all together. That one misstep, people are quick to just point fingers. So that's just not real life. You cannot have everything figured out. If there's someone out there that have everything figured out, let me know. um, so it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to need help and seek for help, like according to what Tish said earlier. And it's okay to start over. Um, if Badass Mama Moves does anything, I just want to give women, especially my fellow single mamas, their voice back and their power back.
I love that. Give their voice back, their power back. We have a question here, and I think this might be a good one for Allegra to answer, because I know that you've talked about this before. But the question is CPTSD considered a disability? Charles would be interested in the educational movement. So Allegra, from the viewpoint of CPTSD, but then maybe Roxy will chime in on that from the disability side.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is a disability. I know that it is something that I I am diagnosed with. So I'm curious to understand that as well.
Okay. Roxy, do you have any insight on that one?
So definitely, I mean, mental health is a very important topic. And disability is wide range. This is why I don't call myself an expert. I call myself a disability specialist. Because here's why. There are people out there from lived experience and experts that can talk on all different kinds of issues. And the thing about PTSD It's very real. I have PTSD because of the brain injury. And if I hear a loud noise, my nervous system is jarred. It was never that jarred. Bright lights hurt me. I never had, I've had learning disabilities, and that was different. But after I had the car accident, I've had major problems with my brain and things happening in my sensory, and and that's post-traumatic stress disorder,
Yeah.
because I was jarred in a car accident and broke my face off, and
Yeah.
lucky to be here. And but PTSD is definitely a disability. We
Yeah.
can call all these things labels all day long, but there are people who have hidden disabilities that we can celebrate, we can educate, and we can know that there are experts and lived experiences that can explain this.
I
And
love
that's what I'm going to be trying to do.
I love that. And for some reason, I'm getting the download. Jamal and Raquel, do you guys have answer for this question as well? I don't know why. I just feel like Jamal, you got something to say on this one. Am I right, or what am I feeling?
Well, I mean, I do. I often suffer from a TBI and PTSD, but mine is from combat experience and injuries from being in the military. But
Okay.
it's labeled as a disability. I guess it just depends on what lane of disability and what you're labeling it for. So yeah, it's definitely labeled as a disability. It just everything has its own lane nowadays. So it depends on what the disability is being identified for. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that, and also thank you for your service. For being one of the brave ones out there. So thank you, Raquel. Do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, because I love all the neuroscience things, right?
Yeah.
And the brain science around that. And anything that's going to be hindering you, it's hindering you. So whether you get an official diagnosis that it's a disability, and sometimes people want that because it's so impacted them that they need some financial help or some open doors. But the fact is that some things just happen, like what happened with Roxy. When people go to the war and then they come back, or they have a traumatic an event. And so that is going to change your brain chemistry. It's going to change the way you think. The way you think is your gift. And there's 7 pillars of thinking, and everyone's pillar, the way it cycles in your brain, it's unique to you. It's like a fingerprint. And when you have PTSD, when you have some kind of event there, now the way you were actually designed to think, it's interrupted. And that needs to be addressed. That needs to be, it needs to be healed. People need different kinds of support systems. And not this, it's like grief. It's not linear. You can't expect something like, well, the person died 5 years ago. Why are you still crying? Because they're still crying because they love somebody, and they were, and of course they're still crying because there was a traumatic event. Somebody died. And sometimes now there's a lot of people I know who are doing more around grief, which is great. But this is the other thing too. I know somebody who has an invisible illness. You look at her and she talks about that more and more now, is that, if somebody has like really bad rheumatoid arthritis or fibromyalgia or some other things too, some people have it mild and some people have it so severe that they're like laying down and you don't know. And so having these kind of conversations of like, okay, what is it that actually is keeping you from living your life fully? And then bringing them to the forefront so we can have compassion, but then move beyond compassion. What can we do to help you either, heal your brain, heal your body, help you out in some kind of way so that we can have more understanding for each other?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for the questions that are coming in. So through Prospera TV Network, I want to be able to share with you, like if you're tuning in and you're new to us, a little bit about our structure. Okay, we do have a YouTube channel. It's a Prospera TV network on YouTube, and every show has its own playlist. So I like to say you can find your new show and binge watch it. Okay, you can binge watch it now. But one of the things that I like to make clear is that the YouTube channel is basically our hub. It's kind of where we house everything. But what we want you to do, what we really want you to do is, if you have Roku on your TVs at home, download the app, because it plays 24/7 and it it just pulls randomly. Certain episodes will premiere on their day and their time, but then you get another show and another show, and it just runs 24/7. So if you have Roku on your TVs, download the Prospera TV Network app. That is actually where we want you to tune in. So I just want to always give that little bit. But as we kind of like pull this all together, I want people to maybe learn a little fun fact about you. Teresa, if you were going to give one word, just one word that would describe your show, what would you call it? What would it be?
A fun word?
Yeah. Or no, one word. Just one word
One?
that describes your show.
Oh, well, anymore, the new word of my life is resilience.
There you go. There you go. I believe it. I believe it. Tish, what would be one word that would describe your show? One word.
Truth.
Truth. Oh, that's a good one. I like that too. Let's just do everyone. Allegra, what would be your one word that describes your show?
My word would be electric.
Ooh, that's fun. That's a fun one. Jessica, yours?
I'd say creative.
Ooh, see, I love these. You guys are coming up with some good ones. Yada, what would be one word that would describe your show?
I will say unfiltered. I don't sugarcoat
Okay.
things, so I'm known for a lot of people have told me that I'm too honest. So
Well, I have to tell you, back a while ago, I would message Yada as we're watching and editing, and I'm like, "Girl, you got me cracking up." I'm like, "Where's the sense of humor been hiding?" So that's awesome. Let's see, Jamal. I know you're in concept form, but if you had to pick one word that you want to describe your show, what would it be?
Compatible.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Raquel, what would be yours?
Reset.
Reset. I get it. I love it. And Roxy, how about you?
I would say passion.
Passion. Those are really good. You guys came up with those really
Mhm.
fast. Oh, we've got one more comment here. Maria. Hey Maria. She says, thank you so much for the information. She said, Raquel, thank you for mentioning people with chronic medical condition. Yes, absolutely. I am one of them. You don't hear about it too much, but in 2006, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid fibromyalgia, Raynaud syndrome, like Sjögren's disease, like you name it. And they gave me 3 years to be in a wheelchair. And I owned my fitness studio at the time, and I had just taken out a huge loan to redo the studio. And I remember telling God, like, WTF, God, like, what do you mean? And I thought, what did I just do to my family? And then he said, you can either get up on that stage and continue teaching till you can't, or you can just decide to sit back and wait for your wheelchair. And I got up and decided to teach every day. And I became one of those patients that the doctors were like, wait, what happened? So you just never know. You just never know. But side note. Okay.
Elena, I just wanted to say really quick one thing
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, I might use the general term disability because it's
Mm-hmm.
the only term that I've known since I was a child,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a very broad term. And it's endless. People are like, are you gonna ever run out of concept or are you gonna run out of any kind of creation? I'm like, it's endless for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can keep looking and I'll find another speaker. I'll find another topic.
Yep.
It's endless.
Yep.
And so chronic illness, disability, PTSD, mental health, it just goes on and on. So that's all I wanted to say, that I might use that general term,
Yep.
but it covers it all.
Ah, that's good. That's a good to know.
Thank you.
Well, since you're talking now, we'll go into the next question for each of you. Roxy, what topic do you think we should cover next on Prospera Pulse when we bring all the show hosts together?
Let's see, it's going to be March again.
Yep.
Well, I think we're lucky. And it's the month of y- um uh it's the month of luckiness because it's St. Patty's month. So I think we're lucky to be here, and I think we're lucky and blessed because of God's gift. So
Uh-huh.
I think we should talk about our blessings and
Oh
luckiness.
Oh my God, I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. All right, and we'll wear green. So Yada, what would you what topic do you think we should cover on one of the next Prospera Pulses?
I could say purpose. I know April is financial literacy month. April, I got you covered, but March, purpose, I think that's what came to my mind.
All right. I'm writing these
What is
down
the
because
purpose?
y'all are just planning our shows for the rest of the year. If anybody out there that's watching wants to have us cover a special or a special topic moving forward, drop it in the comments. Teresa, what would be one that you would say? What topic should we cover on one of the next Prospera Pulses?
I'm with Roxy. I'm all about blessings. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here today, to even be here with all of you, but also on this earth. Circumstances could have been very different a month or so ago for me. So blessings all the way.
Love it. Jessica, what kind of topic would you want to see on a future Prospera Pulse?
I'll have to just like piggyback, just to say, I feel like positivity is so important, especially, revolving around these topics, because we're going back, to experiences and past events that were, potentially traumatic or, just kind of life altering. So I think just a topic of how to stay optimistic or what keeps us optimistic and positive.
That's good. That's a good one. Tish, what would you say? What would be a topic that as show hosts we could come together and cover on a future Prospera Pulse?
I think because it's a faith-based, Prospera TV network is faith-based and Christ-centered, and I'm always asked the deep questions. So one of my, I guess, something that you could kind of toss around the table is, what do you do when God is silent? Because I too have ADD, ADHD, and it's hard for me to sit still. But boy, has it paid off when I toss and turn at night. And that's when I pray. And sometimes when God is quiet or silent, I would like to know what people do. What do you do when God is silent?
Oh gosh, that's a good one too. I'm writing all these down. Jamal, what would you think a good future topic would be for us?
Setback and how you got past it, how you move forward.
How you move forward from setbacks. I like that. Raquel, how about you?
I was thinking like March, it's spring. So what's springing up, right? We have been putting our seeds down and really have micro stories of encouraging them of like the seeds that we've planted and now they're coming up. And then April is resurrection season. So helping people to resurrect their dreams again and talk about and speak life into them as well to resurrect their dreams, because it's never too late.
I like that one too. Wrote that down. What about you, Allegra?
I think we should talk about courage and what being courageous means to us. And I think we should share a story or an experience that we have dealt with that showed our courageousness and our inner courage.
You guys, look how good you guys are. That is why you're show hosts. These are awesome. All right, guys. So as we get ready to wrap up, if you are tuning in, I'm loving to be able to honor and highlight and spotlight the show hosts. There would be no Prospera if people didn't say yes to my crazy idea. I just was like, hey, God gave me this thing. He told me to protect it. I don't know what I'm doing. This was like a year ago. I don't know what I'm doing. And y'all are like, yeah, we're in. And so to be coming up on a year under our belt, and the rapid growth, the discipline, the courage, and all of that it's taken to get us where we are in a very short amount of time is a beautiful thing. But what I really want to emphasize is that we're just regular people with huge hearts and a divine calling. So I really drive the fact that if God is calling you forward to share a message, use your voice. We're providing the platform. Use your voice. You don't have to do it alone. There's a whole team here to support you, but it's about progress, not perfection. None of us are perfect. None of us have it all figured out. And if we can create the environment to just say, hey, come in as your hot mess self sometimes, and we got you. That's really what I'm looking to build here, is global impact. I just want to share with what is next. If you are having that little tug in your gut, that 90-day launch experience is the thing for you. That's what's going to bring you into our world, get you connected with the other show hosts, but to do the work to bring that vision to life. And I'm here to help you do that. Any last thoughts that you guys want to share, that maybe I didn't ask, but you just really want the viewers to hear this message from you? This one is an open mic. Do any of you guys have anything that you want to share?
Well, I did want to I did want to drop this one thing for those who are still listening, is that everyone is created for a purpose, on purpose. We're all an answer to prayer. And when we are not saying yes to that nudge, we are holding up the breakthrough, the answer to prayer for somebody else. So sometimes we get into our head like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know, you're supported here. So you're feeling that lean in, at least have the conversation, because you don't know what you don't know. And there is something in you that is so precious that's why you're feeling that pull, because somebody else is pulling on you that you don't know yet. And so be brave. It was when God said to be brave and courageous, he said, I commanded it. That was not a suggestion. So be brave, be courageous, say at least yes to a conversation, because your yes is a holy yes. It's sacred. It's truly, I believe it's an answer to prayer for somebody else. And you may not ever know who that is. They may not never contact you. But if you don't step in, there is just some things that we are specifically created for. And here you are loved, you're seen, you're supported. And so whatever it is that you need, you're not doing this alone. So at least come in and have the conversation with Elena.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so, yeah, as we wrap up, it's just a reminder that the Prospera Pulse is here to just remind you that your voice matters, to honor the show hosts that have said yes, and to give them, I love to honor and show my appreciation. And this is one of the ways that I'm able to do that. But to also remind you that it's not about that someday, it's about now. And that's all we truly, really have. So if that tug is in your gut, let's talk about it. You could be on our next Prospera Pulse. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for the love and the support that you are showing us. Be sure to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, or like I said, if you have Roku on your television at home, download the app and watch the amazing work that all of these show hosts have done over these past several months. And it's just a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. And we will see you next time.
This is your prosperity.